We all love routines, right? And we all love to optimizing every single possible thing in our lives. And in this video, I want to show you the 5 things that you should do before every single workout, or at least almost 4 out of 5 of these things before your workouts, because it's really gonna help you optimize being mentally prepared, being physically prepared, and also with the most amount of energy, so you can reap out the benefits of your training in every single workout. And so for the first one, we're gonna have a good night's sleep, and this starts the day before, because having a good night's sleep, it's like really one of the most powerful natural performance enhancers that you have in your toolbox. I really recommend that you sleep between 7 and 9 hours a night, because if the more we sleep, you know, the more energized we have. But around the studies, we have seen that the most optimal sleep for building muscle and losing fat, or whatever goal, whatever performance goal you have, is between this hour range. I want to show you one of these studies right here, one of the best doctors out there we have of sleep.
Every disease that is killing us in developed nations, from cancer, Alzheimer's, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, stroke, even suicide, they all have significant and causal links to insufficient sleep.
As well as Andrew Huberman, which really details how we can use sleep to actually enhance our cognitive performance and also physical performance.
If you look at ability to attend or do math problems or do anything, drive, performance tends to ramp up slowly within a 90-minute cycle, peak, and then come down at the end of that 90-minute cycle. And in sleep, we go through these stage 1, 2, 3, 4, REM, etc. We'll talk more about that if you like. Those on 90-minute ultradian.
Because there also even have been studies that show that if we sleep 5 hours or less, we actually gain more fat and lose muscle. And if we sleep more than 8 hours a night, we actually gain some muscle during our fat loss progress. So that's incredible, just how a really strong performance natural enhancer can be as sleep. Structure your routine, do your night routines the correct way before going to sleep. Do the 3-2-1 method. Don't drink any liquids 3 hours before your sleep. 2 hours before, try to don't eat anything, and 1 hour before your sleep, try to don't look at any blue light or screens. In that hour before going to sleep, try to read books or something that makes you relax and go to sleep better and faster. The second thing that I mostly do, and right now I'm doing it because I really love doing this in the mornings, and it's my cardio. And I'm talking any cardio: walking, rocking, cycling, running, jogging, any kind of cardio that you enjoy doing. But try to separate it at least 3 hours before your workouts, because yes, the interference effect, it's more on performance rather than on your gains. But if you do your cardio before lifting weights, all that energy got to your cardio, and then you don't have the full energy when you're gonna lift weights immediately after your cardio. Because, for example, let's say that you ate something and then you do your cardio, you already used some energy, and then using even more energy to lift weights, you're not gonna have the same performance as separating your cardio session. A good tip that Lane Norton shows right here is this.
However, I think again, it's important to note that the data seems to trend that at minimum, cardiovascular exercise does not appear to negatively impact hypertrophy and strength training. Now, I think one thing to keep in mind is if you are going to do concurrent training, our best understanding seems to suggest you're probably better off doing your aerobic conditioning on days you do not lift. That separating those is probably a little bit better. And if you are going to do them on the same day, it's probably best to try and separate them during the day. Either do your aerobic conditioning in the morning and your resistance training at night, or vice versa. If you have to do them in the same session, if it's relatively low intensity aerobic conditioning and it doesn't negatively impact your lifting, you can probably do it beforehand.
So as you can see, try to at least separate it for 3 hours or more. Like he mentions, at least 6 hours. So for example, you lift weights at the morning, wait 6 hours, and then in the evening you can do your cardio. So if you lift weights before your job, do your job 8 hours, and then you do your cardio, whatever you want, right? It's that simple. Now, this is optional because maybe you don't do cardio every day, but I really do recommend at least going for a 30-minute walk every single day, with all the benefits, and even especially on the mornings with the sunlight, things and benefits you can reap from that. Now, the third one is that you do some mindfulness or stretching. A lot of studies have shown a lot of benefits of mindfulness. I'm gonna show again a clip of Andrew Huberman explaining one of the best benefits of mindfulness for our cognitive function and physical performance.
the real purpose of meditation and its real promise is not in this long list of benefits. And I'm not discounting any of those, though the science for many of them is quite provisional. It's in this deeper claim that if you look for this thing you're calling I, if you look for the sense that there's a thinker in addition to the mere arising of the next thought, say, you won't find that thing. And you can, what's more, you cannot find it in a way that's conclusive, and that matters, right? And it has there's a host of benefits that follow from that discovery, which are quite a bit deeper and more interesting than engaging meditation on the side of its benefits, de-stressing, increasing focus.
And as well, I think that stretching is another good option that you can actually mindfully realize that you are working your muscles, because if we stretch, we can actually feel almost every single fiber of our muscles working and stretching. And if you really focus on the movement, on that mind to muscle connection, that will also go into your workouts. That will mirror into your workouts. So the better you will train, the better you feel your muscles working during your training, and that's why stretching is important. You don't need to stretch every day, but I really do recommend that if you stretch every day, try to do it mindfully, and that it relaxes you and makes you more mindful of the muscles you work. The fourth one, and here's the part of this video, and it's having a pre-workout meal. Because in my experience, when I go to the gym without eating anything at the morning, I really feel it. I really feel the lack of energy, or the energy I should have eaten before. I believe that, yeah, fasting has benefits, but fasting is not necessary. If you don't fast, you have the same fat loss results as someone that will be fasting, right? I'm not telling you that you don't need to go and train not fasted, but some people just don't work for it. So this is where the pre-workout meal comes in. Now, you should do it the right way, because if you don't eat, for example, any carbs before your workouts, you're gonna feel the lack of energy as well, even if you ate something. So what are the foods that we should eat? The best foods are the fast digesting carbs with some protein. It doesn't need to be high, depending on what's the time separation between the food you eat and if you go work out. Because, for example, if you go into workout 30 minutes after you ate something, I think that the fast digesting foods will be better than the slow digesting foods. Now, if you're gonna work out 2 hours after you eat, you can actually have a full meal with more fiber, with more protein, and some complex carbs, and even some fat as well. Fiber really fills you up for a long time, and even during your workouts you feel the fiber in your gut. Avoid fiber as well. But if you digest the food quickly, especially if you're in a cut, then I think you can try to get as much food as possible and wait until the body absorbs it. So a lot of foods that you can eat, any type of fruits that it's high carbs and low fiber. I like to eat bananas if I'm not gonna take too long before working out. And protein shakes is actually the best way, even for shorter or longer periods, but it all depends on you. Try to get all the protein in during your day, but your pre-workout meal should consist of around 50 to 70 grams of carbs and between 20 and 40 grams of protein before your workouts. So this way you go fully energized and get the most optimal workout as you can and maximize your gains and your performance. And finally, once we are at the gym, before actually doing your workout, we should do a proper warm-up routine. In this warm-up routine, I really wanted to show you the exercises, so I did a proper warm-up routine that you can check right here. Go right now, click it.